What's up, guys? Brendan Hancock here with another episode of Groove Subaru today. And today we're inside of the 2018 Subaru WRX. This is the limited trim level here that we're sitting in front of. And the reason I got this car out for us today is one thing in particular that they've changed. And we talked about, if you've seen our other video where we looked at the premium, we talked about a lot of the changes that they have here. But one of the changes is the screen that's up top here. They've changed this and increased it in size to 5.9 inches now. So it's a much larger screen. And also, I believe the graphics, personally, I think are of much higher quality. There seems to be a little bit more contrast there, and the reds seem to be a little bit more vibrant. And in my opinion, anytime you see red, whether it's lighting or stitching or things like that, it just evokes this idea of sportiness. So I really like seeing that here. So we're just going to kind of scroll through some of the different screen options that they have here, show you how to change a couple things if you'd like. The first screen that we're on here, this is the screen that I keep on my WRX. Now it's going to look a little different on mine, but this one's going to show you the boost gauge. It's also going to show you your percent acceleration. So one thing that they've changed here is sort of how they show the level of acceleration that you have here. So it used to be kind of connected to the actual boost gauge itself, sort of along the side. And it was very difficult to kind of see what percent acceleration you were at. So now they both have it as a numerical number, and then they also kind of show it to you on this little graph thing as well. So that's just your percent of throttle. In my opinion, this is my favorite screen to have up. Now we're going to scroll through here. How you change the screen right here is just this enter button. That's exactly how you controlled it back, even a year ago or 2 years ago. So either up and down, doesn't matter which way you go. But we're going to go up this way, just kind of scroll through one by one the different things you can look at. So this screen, we're going to talk about this again in a little bit. You can actually change. This gives you 3 different bits of information. In particular, here we're looking at average miles per gallon. We're looking at average miles per gallon, it looks like, for this trip versus the odometer. And then we're also looking at percent acceleration over there, as you can see on the far right. So that's just giving you that numerical value there. Now you can actually change, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute, what bits of information you choose to have there. In my opinion, I think this is ridiculous to show odometer, MPG, and then also on this current trip. So I would probably change that to possibly oil temperature, things of that nature. But we'll show a couple things that you can change there as well in just a little bit. The other thing that's a little bit different here, they did change this. So this is very similar to what we see in the 2017 Impreza. Now this is not on the new global platform. It's not like on the Crosstrex, new global platform as well. But they've definitely taken some of the electronic stuff here, you can see, from the Impreza. So this is going to show us whether we're leaning forward or backwards, or if we're going uphill or downhill at all. And then I believe also, yep, exactly, it's going to show us which way our wheels are turning as well. So I don't really know when you would use that the most, but it is what it is. It's kind of cool. Also, you can turn traction control off, so up here, so it's going to show you not whether or not traction control is turned off or if you're in track mode, but if you are slipping, kind of to tell you that, hey, you're slipping. But it'll also show up here on the center dash, so I don't know why you'd be looking up there per se. But still nice to have to know whether or not you're on an incline or decline there, and it just kind of looks cool. The graphics are very high quality there. So here is another screen that we're looking at, kind of very similarly to the things we looked at previous. Kind of gives you 3 bits of information here, kind of just a different setup on the look. We also are now seeing the miles until empty, which I love to see. That is a great feature to have there. So in all, I think the graphics are just a lot more vibrant. It seems brighter, and it's kind of less distracting actually, because it's so easy to kind of see. The numbers that you were looking for previously, you had to kind of focus on, which is so dangerous to be taking your eyes off the road. So here they make it a lot more easy to see. The other ones here, we've got a different looking clock here. This one looks a little bit more like a watch. You do have the ability to change that to either, you can do, I think, a calendar, or also just completely turn the clock off if you'd like. But I very much like how it looks like a watch there. I wish you could download different watch, like real watches, because I love watches, to actually have different faces there. That would be kind of cool if you could download those, but I don't think that's available. So, and here, this is going to be the screen, the press and hold the enter button to access screen settings. So here, we're going to push and hold this button in, and this is going to allow us to do a bunch of stuff. So this is where you're going to go to change the time and date. You can change the brightness and contrast of the screen there as well. But one thing that we're going to look for here, we're going to go to, I believe, screen settings here. So I'm just kind of toggling up and down here and then selecting by pushing in the enter button. And there's a couple things we can change. Like I said, the clock there, but also the trip meter. So I'm going to select trip meter here. And that's going to bring us back to that page where we have the ability to sort of change things that we want. So I selected by pushing enter. I could then change it to be oil temp if I wanted to. I can do, you know, boost, like what percentage of boost I'm using, and then also percent acceleration. Now these are, in my opinion, the sportiest ones, but you can also change it to distance until empty. You can have it completely empty. You could average MPGs for odometer or for a specific trip. But in my opinion, I think these 3 bits of information are the most sporty, so to speak. So I'm gonna have set those up there as well. Clock, you can also check here if you want an analog clock. You can turn it off, or like I said, you can change it to a calendar as well. I think the calendar is a little bit distracting, so I'm going to keep that on the analog clock there. And you can also change the a couple things in here with the main screen here, so you can have your birthday and anniversary reminders on or off. And you can also do Eco Summer. You can turn that on or off. So I'm going to turn that on actually. And then just that welcome screen where, you know, when you turn the car on originally, it shows you a couple things there. So those are really kind of a few things you can do in screen settings. You can also go to your maintenance here to track all of your oil changes and everything like that, which is a great feature. You know, it is very much the same information you could do previously in regards to this, but just a little bit different setup. The graphics are a little bit different, things like that. You can also, if you go to car settings here, you can change a couple things, such as the keyless access, keyless entry settings, which we've actually done a video on before, as well as your auto light sensor. So for your automatic headlights, which you do have, you can lower the level, which is basically, you want to keep that on low, because that's basically how frequently is the computer asking itself if it's dark outside. So basically you want it to be on low because you don't want it asking every single second. So when you go under an overpass or something like that, you know, it's going on and off really, really quickly. So you can see there's a couple of other things you can do in here, changing the welcome lighting, like I said. But for the most part, things in here are going to be working very similarly to how they did previously. It's just going to be kind of different graphics and things of that nature. So just wanted to kind of show you guys sort of what's new on the interior here for this feature. In terms of the actual regular infotainment system, we're going to see the same 7-inch touchscreen we saw there previously, although now we're going to see this on the premium trim level, which I really like. So thank you guys for watching so much. Hopefully you guys are excited about the 2018 WRX as I am. This car is amazing. It drives entirely differently. So if you guys are interested in taking a look at one, definitely feel free to stop in for a test drive. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today.